Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here as per usual, and this is a pretty decent haul. I got some Super Nintendo things that I'm really happy to find out in the wild. Hard to come by, and this was an absolutely amazing deal in this day and age, that's for sure. So let me get started. That's going to come at the end because it's sort of the last thing that I picked up at the thrift shops today. But something that came in the mail today was this right here, which is a cable from, I ordered it from a company in China off of eBay, and it's to connect, I guess you could do a number of things with it, but really it's for modding original Xboxes, so you can plug that into the controller port. This would go into your thumb drive, and which would have like your files and whatnot you need for hacking on there, and that's good to go. So hopefully this works and will serve a purpose. I did get an old Xbox a while ago. Parts of it weren't working, so I kind of cleaned everything out, and I did a bunch of number on it, and basically got it all like spick and span just for fun, just to check out, you know, the insides of an original Xbox. Never really done a modding before, but I do have Splinter Cell, which is something you need, and you need this cable as well. Obviously, if you want to find out more about that, go search it. There's tons of videos on YouTube about it. But you know, I wanted to check out and see if I could do it just to get that sense of, you know, understanding of the equipment that I have and whatnot. So that's that right there. Just picked that up for a couple bucks. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it all came out of money that I got selling these, which are the PS3 and PS2 Rock Band dongles. I've been selling these on eBay quite regularly, and I found another one which came with one of these USB controller port type things, and for that one there I already took it out of the bag, but it was $2.99. So these usually sell for upwards of about $20, you know, reasonably, and I've been doing pretty well selling those off, so I was able to essentially pay for a few small items off of eBay for myself. Also pay for my table at the GTA Collectibles Expo, which is coming up really shortly, which I have to do my pump up video for still, and you know, things like that. So really happy about that, and there's another one that hopefully will bring in some income. Moving on, I also picked up a copy, and this was from a Goodwill, which is actually the same Goodwill that I visited today for the SNES find I'm going to show you at the end. But this here was sitting there, and I guess people passed by it not thinking much of it. It's Combat of the Giants Dinosaurs 3D, and this one here I am going to be reselling, obviously, just to recoup money and whatnot, and fill up the table at the swap kind of thing. But it's sealed, although the seal's kind of, it seems sort of compromised to me. I don't know, it's like really weak sort of seal on it, and some dust has actually gotten inside it, although that probably looks more like somebody's oregano there. So I don't know, you can see that there, but that's something that, you know, for 606 that was no problem picking that up, so I'll just resell that as well. This is also going to be going on the table. I know I'm finding a lot of things for reselling. That's not really what I'm all about, but when I find these things I already have in my collection, you know I'm going to use them to fund my way through the rest of my collection. So here we go. Paper Mario, the 1,000 Year Door. Got this one at Tully's for $5. This was sitting on a cart actually in the back in the sorting area. I saw it from a distance. I just picked it up with my laser vision, I guess, when it comes to these things, and asked one of the employees if they wouldn't mind going to check to see if it was priced already. It was, so I was able to snag it before it even hit the floor. This one here unfortunately does not have its manual, but it has like an advertisement and the, you know, health and safety precautions info thing, and the disc on it's pretty decent shape. It's got a few minor scuffs and whatnot, but I'm sure it'll be perfectly good to go, and another little recouper there, so that's kind of nice. And this is something that is not actually a game, but it is gaming related in some sense. I mean, the games are based off of this, I'm sure. It's Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight, and it's a DVD, which I don't normally pick up DVDs, but this was too cool to leave behind, so I'll check this out and probably take that to the swap as well, because once I watch it I'm probably not going to, you know, collect DVDs or anything. It's not really something I have room for nor time to do, but thought I would check it out. Don't really know anything, to tell you the truth, about Dot Hack anything, so this is kind of cool. I'm gonna have to check it out and just see what it's all about, and this is my opportunity right here. Moving on from that, I stopped in at the same Tully's I picked up the 1,000 Year Door, and the employee told me that helped me out with getting that game that the next day some Intellivision games were going to be coming out, but they weren't coming out until, you know, the following day, which happened to be today. So stopped in, you know, at lunchtime kind of thing, and picked up the Intellivision games that were there. Nothing really fancy here, pretty much paid what they're worth, but how often do you see, you know, box Intellivision games out in the wild? I don't really see them that often, maybe like once or twice a year. So when I do, I have a tendency to pick them up, even though they're not overly valuable or anything like that, but the artwork on them is just so cool. The first one here is Major League Baseball, so that's pretty neat. Inside, you know, it's got the instructions, it's got this, and some of them have the inlays and whatnot in them. I'm not going to go through all of that, but that's pretty cool right there. And this was $3. They're all $3. The next one here is NBA basketball. Same thing. Inside, you can see like inlays and whatnot. And there's the cartridge as well, so pretty cool. Moving on, I'm not sure I'm going to say this right. It's NASL Soccer, NASL Soccer. I don't know what the abbreviation is. Never heard of NASL before in my life, so you let me know what that is. I'm not totally certain, but again, this one here I think is missing most. Oh, it has the inserts. Just one. It's just two of them in there, but missing the manual. Still pretty cool. Boxes on these are in kind of beat up shape, but you get what you get when you're talking about something as old as I am. So here we go. The next one here is NHL hockey, which again, just for the artwork alone, that's pretty wicked. $3 like the other ones. Unfortunately, and here's the downside to collecting for the Intellivision, the artwork is part of the box. It's part of the container for everything. So if you get something like a rip here, you're pretty much sunk. The box is kind of ruined. But this one here has a rip right here, and the label's a little bit ripped up on the cartridge, but still a decent find, I guess. For $3, like I said, not going to leave that behind. The next one here, probably the worst condition box, I'll have to see if I can do a little repair job on that, is Astro Smash. And check out that artwork, that is really awesome. So, you know, again, not overly valuable, worth what I paid for it, but still definitely something, you know, you don't see every day. So pretty cool. Picked that one up. Not really certain about Intellivision, like I keep mentioning in my videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to hold on to these. Probably going to hold on to the box stuff and just you know, move past the loose cartridges and pass them on, sort of thing. The last one here, and finally the last not sports related one, although Astro Smash is not sport. Most of those were sports, but this one here is Lock and Chase. Absolute classic. Played this when I was a kid on my aunt and uncle's Intellivision. We didn't have an Intellivision, but my aunt and uncle did, and that's one of the ones that I checked out back in the day. So this one's like, you know, you're a thief robbing a bank kind of thing, and the cops are trying to chase you down. Basically like a maze runner type of thing, but lots of fun, and something you should check out if you haven't already. So that's that. Ended up paying, you know, for all those box games around just under $20, so like 18 something with tax and everything. So I thought it was a pretty good deal, you know, for what it is. Unfortunately, those boxes aren't in the greatest condition, but what can you do? The next thing I'm going to show you here is the Super Nintendo haul that I got. This is probably one of the better hauls I've gotten recently. Really hard, I think, out in the wild to find those Super Nintendo games these days. They're getting scooped up like crazy. People are going nuts for the system, so really hard to find these out in the wild. If they come out in the wild, they're gone almost instantly, and that's almost what happened to these ones right here. I'll explain this a little bit. There's 7 games that came in one of these cases kind of thing. 7 games, and I walked into the Goodwill and somebody was already looking at them. They were on a rack that had just been rolled out, I guess, because it was sort of sitting in an awkward spot, which means they probably just rolled it out. They usually do that, leave them out there, hope people will pick some things off them, and then they put the rest of it on the shelves and whatnot. But this was sitting there, and there was a guy going through, and he's checking every single game that's in there. He's not checking them on an app or anything, he's just looking at them, examining every single last detail about them, taking his sweet time actually to do it, because like when I saw it I was just like, I'm gonna buy that no matter what. But you know, he was sort of taking his sweet time with it. He walked around the store a little bit, he had it in his hand, so there was nothing I could do about it. But I was sort of like, oh, just missed that by a couple of minutes. And then a miracle sort of happened. He walked over to the counter, and And I found out this information later because I couldn't really hear the conversation they're having. I wasn't really stalking the guy. I was keeping an eye on it in case he put it down or didn't want it and that kind of idea. But, you know, I wasn't expecting that he was not going to buy this because he went up to the counter with it. I was like, well, that's a done deal. He's going to be out of here and I'm going to miss out. But what ended up happening was he started having a conversation with the, cashier about these, and I was sort of curious why he's asking so many questions about it. And what he was doing was he was pointing out different flaws in the games and then trying to get a discount. So they always, if you're a regular customer there or whatnot, I mean, they get their stuff for free. You can always finagle discounts, if they're willing to do one, kind of thing. And I've done that before in the past, bought like a huge chunk of games at one time and asked for a discount, and they were willing to do it because, a valued customer, whatnot, because they would go in there just about like every day, if not every other day, sort of idea. So, I figured, it's worth a shot. You might as well try it. What he did was ask for money off the price based on the condition of the things, and then the cashier went into the back, talked to the manager. The manager took like $1 off, because when you hear the price, you're not going to believe that the guy was even asking for a discount for this. So here we go. She came back out, said, $14 was the price, kind of thing. It was originally $15, so they just knocked $1 off. I mean, you couldn't go much lower on it. And the guy turned it down and walked out the door. So when I saw him set down the games, didn't really know if he had left. I thought maybe he's going out to his car, grab some cash. I wasn't really sure because I couldn't hear the conversation. The cashier just told me about it sort of after. And as soon as he set it down and walked out the door, I asked her, is he buying those or not? And she said, he's not buying them. And I said, well, I will. And I honestly didn't even know what was all in there, but I knew whatever it was, I was getting a good deal, because if they're going for $14, I'm buying it. So basically for all of these, I paid $2 a game. Near miss on that one. I mean, honestly, I don't know why this guy left it behind, but maybe only a $10 bill on him. Whatever, his loss, my gain. So here we go. The first one here is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Label's really messed up. This is one of the arguing points I think he was using for trying to get a discount. Pretty cool though. I already have it in my collection, so it's not a big deal. But unfortunately, like I said, that label's ripped, because otherwise you can see it's like really glossy and everything. So it honestly would have been in good shape had the label not been like that. But the pins on this one are like absolutely perfect. So I'm sure he was just arguing as far as like label wise that was something that needed to be fixed or whatnot, and was trying to use that to his advantage. The next one here is Cody Stein's old cart. So I know the magic for erasing him from this game's history. But now it's mine, and that is Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which I already have in my collection. Again, like I was saying, the actual cartridges are in pretty decent shape for the most part, so pretty awesome right there. Just got to get his name off it, give it a quick scrub and tighten it up. It's a little loose, but pretty cool right there. And then this one here, Batman Forever, has a really nice label on it, but somebody, and I'm sure it might have been one of these Stein brothers, decided to take a lighter to it. I don't know if you can see that right there, but it's like melted right here, which luckily is on the back, which is unfortunate because this back is really nice. Other than that damage right there, I might be able to sort of, I don't know if not file it down, like sand it down a little bit, make it look a little nicer. But obviously I'll just replace the back with like a sports title type thing. But they also scorched a bit of the contacts. They don't look damaged or warped or anything like that, but I'll have to test it out and see if it works. He was using that as an arguing point, and this is the one sentence I heard out of him, which told me that he was being kind of cheap, but he's like, some of the games have damage like this on it or whatever, and he's like pointing it out, like implying that the rest of the games had that kind of damage. The rest of the games, minus like small little issues, don't have any damage on them. So that's that. I'll show you the next two games. They're probably the most valuable ones that are in this lot, but I'll keep the two that I'm actually holding for my collection, because that's what really matters most to me here. The first one, which like I already have in my collection, is Donkey Kong Country. Again, you can see the top there, a little bit of damage right here, but again, you're gonna turn that down for $2. I never would. So awesome right there. And then another classic that goes along with it, Donkey Kong Country 3. The only bummer about this one, a little bit of damage right here, which is kind of awful, because I think this is probably the best looking copy I've seen, minus that, so that kind of ruins it. But really glossy label otherwise, and definitely something that's going to help me do a little recouper, that's for sure. And then these are the last two that are in this lot, and nothing super fancy here, but games I've never seen in the wild and didn't have in my collection, so pretty happy to add a couple of additions in, that's for sure. The first one here is Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers, so pretty long title there for what it is, but if you haven't seen gameplay of this, you gotta go check it out. Like I said, it's Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers. This one here looks almost identical to Mario Kart. It's like seriously ripped them off almost. You can see down here it has the Super FX thing, so it has like those graphics or whatever that, you know, Mario Kart's able to display. That's sort of the idea with that one, but pretty cool find right there. So I'm gonna have to check it out. People say it's pretty hard, so that's that. And then the last one from the Stein brothers, and just as a thank you to go to the Stein brothers, thank you for donating your collection to my collection, because I really appreciate it. So thank you, Matthew and Cody, for doing that. But Matthew's copy here of Captain America and the Avengers, so pretty neat. Backing's a little bit messed up though, you can see lots of stickers and whatnot, but I'll be able to clean that off. This actually came from Huntsville, so thank you from Huntsville, and you know, Blockbuster Video and everything else, but for a rental copy it came out pretty unscathed, so it's actually in really good shape, which is nice, because that one's actually going into my collection, so pretty sweet right there. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up kind of idea. Heard the hit detection might be a little bit off on this one, and it's sort of cheap. You know, after you get hit, your invincibility seems to last like shorter than your enemies, so they actually, when they get hit, they actually blink like you would if you got hit, only theirs lasts about 2 or 3 seconds and yours lasts like, you know, a nanosecond kind of thing. But still cool nonetheless, and like I said, I didn't have this in my collection. I believe I did see this a little while back in a pawn shop, but they were asking like over retail for this, so didn't bother picking it up. Glad I held out, because I got this one for $2 today. So thank you again, Matthew and Cody, for your contributions to my collection. Helped me out a lot here. So thanks again for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.